All right, today we're going to unpack a truly incredible story. It's about a YouTube channel that is the absolute definition of grit. We're talking a 4-year journey of innovation, relentless perseverance, and a mission that actually started way before the first video was even a thought. And it all comes down to one very impressive number.
Yep, there it is. Over 1 million views. Now, for any creator, that's a massive milestone, right? But for this channel, Apertum SportsFuture, it's so much more. It's a symbol of a deep legacy, a technological revolution, and honestly, an almost unbelievable fight for survival.
To really get your head around the scale of this, you have to picture just how huge YouTube is. I mean, we're talking about a digital ocean with more than 115 million channels, all fighting for a little bit of your attention. So, in a space that crowded, how rare is an achievement like this one?
The short answer? It is incredibly rare. If you look at the data, only about 1.3% of all channels on the platform ever cross that 1 million view line. So to put that in perspective, hitting this milestone isn't just succeeding, it's like finding treasure in a massive crowded ocean. It puts this channel into a very elite club.
But here's the thing. This story isn't really about algorithms or trying to go viral. To understand where that million views comes from, we gotta go back to a foundation that was built long before the channel was even an idea.
The soul of this whole project, the real why behind it all, it doesn't come from a line of code. It comes from one person's lifelong commitment to service. This is a story about taking old school values and plugging them into brand new technology.
So let me introduce you to the legacy holder. He's an 86-year-old man from the Netherlands who has been a pillar in his community for over 65 years. His dedication is so profound, he was actually honored by the king as a royal knight. And as you can see here, his work is everywhere, from sports clubs and local radio to housing projects. This man's life is the bedrock that this whole mission is built on.
This quote from the project team, it really says it all. This isn't just inspiration for them, it's a huge responsibility. They see themselves as keepers of this incredible legacy of service, and they're tasked with carrying it forward for a new generation.
So here's the big question. How do you take a 65-year legacy of hands-on, face-to-face volunteer work and translate it into the digital age? Well, the answer lies in that fusion of tradition and technology.
And their answer is Apertum SportsFuture. It's a platform built on blockchain technology, and its goal is to directly fund sports scholarships for talented athletes all across the globe. The whole point is to create a self-sustaining ecosystem where an athlete's potential, not their bank account, is what shapes their future.
And you gotta understand, this approach is a total game changer. The traditional way of funding sports is often controlled by a few gatekeepers, it's not very transparent, and it limits opportunities for a lot of people. By using this Web3 model, they're building a system that's open, community-driven, and transparent. They're literally tearing down the old walls to open up doors for new talent. But this path, man, it was anything but easy. The road to 1 million views was filled with challenges so relentless they would have completely destroyed most other projects out there. 27. That's a pretty stark number, isn't it? And that's not the number of viral hits or big brand deals. No, it's something that tells you way more about their character and their incredible resolve. That's the number of times the channel was suspended by the platform. 27 times. Each one of those was a potential death blow to the project. A moment where, honestly, giving up would have been the easy choice. But they refused.
Instead of quitting, they developed what you could call a cycle of resilience. Each time a suspension notice hit their inbox, they'd appeal, and they centered their whole argument on their community and their mission. And what's amazing is, after a tough review process, they won, all 27 times. Their channel was reinstated again and again and again.
This became their mantra, their rallying cry. And it just perfectly mirrors the spirit of the athletes they're trying to support, right? It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, you always get back up, maybe even a little bit stronger. So now when we look back at that 1 million view count, it's just impossible to see it as only a number. It is a milestone that was literally forged in the fire of that struggle. And these stats, they just show you the sheer scale of that grind. Since late 2021, they have put up almost 800 videos, they've built a dedicated community of over 7,200 subscribers, and that work led to that million-plus view count. This wasn't a lucky break or some one-hit wonder, it was earned through relentless, purpose-driven hard work. And guess what? They are not stopping.
The momentum is building with new community features, a merch store, and they're growing on other platforms like X. It's all part of a much bigger vision, to build what they call a super mall, a huge, decentralized hub where athletes, fans, and sponsors can all connect and grow together.
At the end of the day, this project has a really clear identity. It isn't for the hype chasers who are just looking for the next big trend. No, it's built for the grinders, the innovators, and for people who have that athlete's mindset, a belief in long-term growth and in lifting other people up with you. And that just leaves us with this final thought. In a world that is so often obsessed with overnight success and viral moments, this 4-year journey from Apertum SportsFuture asks us a really powerful question. It challenges us all to think about the true, lasting value of a legacy, one that's painstakingly built, not on hype, but on sheer, unwavering perseverance.